What if I told you that a war thousands of miles away could suddenly double fuel prices, disrupt food supplies, and push an entire country into emergency mode? This is not a prediction. It's happening right now. As tensions continue to rise between the United States, Israel, and Iran, the global consequences are no longer limited to the battlefield. One country, heavily dependent on imported energy, is already feeling the shockwaves, and the situation is getting serious. Stay with me, because what's unfolding right now could affect not just one nation, but the entire global economy. And before we go further, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated with the most important global developments. The economic impact of the ongoing conflict in the Middle East is spreading rapidly across the world. One of the clearest examples of this is the Philippines. The president of the Philippines, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., has officially declared a national energy emergency, a major step that highlights just how severe the situation has become. This announcement came through an executive order, giving the government special powers to act quickly without waiting for lengthy approval processes. In simple terms, it allows authorities to respond faster to a crisis that is already affecting millions of people. But here's the real question. Why is the Philippines being hit so hard? The answer lies in its heavy dependence on imported oil. Nearly 98% of the country's oil supply comes from the Persian Gulf, a region now directly impacted by the ongoing conflict. As tensions rise and supply chains become unstable, fuel prices have surged dramatically, and the consequences, they are everywhere. From transportation to food prices, daily life is becoming increasingly difficult for ordinary citizens. Now, here's something most people are not talking about, okay? This isn't just about fuel prices going up. This is about a chain reaction that is slowly affecting every part of life, from how people travel to what they eat, okay? And even whether children can get to school. So make sure you keep watching, because the next part explains how deep this crisis really goes. Since the conflict began, fuel prices in the Philippines have more than doubled. Diesel and petrol costs have skyrocketed, making transportation extremely expensive. And in a country where millions rely on public transport every day, this is a major problem. In the capital city of Manila alone, around 9 million people depend on public buses daily. These buses are not just a convenience, they are a lifeline. But now, drivers are struggling. Many of them say that government subsidies are simply not enough. They are facing rising fuel costs, while at the same time being restricted from increasing fares due to government controls. This creates a dangerous imbalance. Drivers can't afford to operate, and passengers can't afford higher fares. And when transportation suffers, everything else starts to break down. One of the biggest impacts is being seen in food prices. Take rice, for example, a staple food in the Philippines. Due to rising transportation costs, the price of rice has more than doubled. Why? Because food needs to be transported across islands, cities, and rural areas. When fuel becomes expensive, the cost of moving goods increases, and that cost is passed directly to consumers. For many families, this means choosing between essentials. And that's where the situation becomes truly alarming. To deal with the crisis, the government has introduced several emergency measures. These include controlling the distribution of food, managing transportation and movement, encouraging reduced energy usage. In fact, government offices have even shifted to a 4-day work week to reduce energy consumption. Employees have been asked to take the stairs instead of elevators, small steps, but symbolic of a much larger issue. Because when a country starts conserving energy at this level, it shows how serious the situation really is. But here's the shocking part. Even with all these measures, many experts believe this could just be the beginning. If the conflict continues, the pressure on global oil supplies could increase even further. And that raises a critical question. Which country could be next? On the ground, people are already feeling the pain. Long queues have formed as citizens try to access government subsidies, but many say the support is not enough. Bus drivers, workers, and families are all struggling to cope with rising costs. There have even been talks of protests, people demanding relief from the economic pressure. However, under emergency powers, governments often have the authority to limit public gatherings. So the situation remains tense. What makes the story even more important is that the Philippines is likely just the first domino. This is reportedly the first country to declare an energy emergency. It's directly linked to disruptions caused by the Middle East conflict, but it may not be the last. Countries that depend heavily on imported oil could soon face similar challenges. And in a globally connected economy, no nation is truly isolated. What happens in one region can quickly ripple across the world. So what we are witnessing right now is more than just a regional issue. It is a clear reminder of how fragile global systems can be. A conflict in one part of the world can trigger economic shockwaves across continents, affecting millions of lives in ways no one expected. And as the situation continues to evolve, one thing is certain. The world will be watching closely. If you found this video informative, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, because we bring you clear, powerful, and real updates on the stories that matter most. Turn on notifications so you never miss an important update. And let me know in the comments, do you think more countries will face an energy crisis like this?